Betrayed with a promise of peace. The real story of Crazy Horse's final hours. There is no photograph of this man. Not one. In an age when generals, presidents, and outlaws all sat for the camera, one of the most feared warriors on the Great Plains refused every single time. He believed a picture could steal a piece of his spirit, so he walked through history, leaving behind no face, only a name whispered with equal parts fear and reverence. That name was Crazy Horse, and the strangest part of his story isn't how he lived. It's how he died, killed not in battle, but by a bayonet in the back, at a fort he had entered under a flag of peace, betrayed by his own people almost as much as by the soldiers in blue. Here's what really happened. Born around 1840 near Bear Butte in present-day South Dakota, he was known as a boy simply as Curly, the son of a respected Oglala medicine man. Quiet and watchful even as a child, he would soon become one of the most formidable war leaders the Plains had ever produced. By his mid-20s, Crazy Horse was already reshaping American military history. On December 21, 1866, he helped lure 80 United States soldiers into a fatal ambush near Fort Phil Kearny, an event known as the Fetterman Fight, one of the Army's most complete defeats on the Great Plains. It forced Washington to abandon its forts along the Bozeman Trail entirely and signed the Treaty of Fort Laramie in 1868, promising the Black Hills to the Lakota forever. Crazy Horse never trusted that promise. He refused to sign it. Within a decade, he'd be proven right. In 1874, gold was discovered in the Black Hills, and the treaty collapsed overnight. Miners flooded in, and the government ordered every Lakota band onto reservations. Crazy Horse refused to move, and refusal meant war. On June 17, 1876, he fought General Crook's army to a standstill at the Battle of the Rosebud. 8 days later, on June 25th, he helped lead the counterattack that annihilated Custer's command at the Little Bighorn, the single greatest Native American military victory in United States history. But victory didn't end the war. It escalated it. The Army pursued Crazy Horse's people relentlessly through the winter, and by May 6, 1877, starving and exhausted, he surrendered at the Red Cloud Agency with nearly 900 followers. He had never lost a major battle, and now he was living under the watch of the army he'd spent a decade resisting. What came next wasn't peace, it was jealousy. Rival chiefs, threatened by his fame, spread rumors that he planned to escape or even kill an army general. A mistranslated remark, meant as loyalty, was reported as a threat to kill every white man on the plains. On September 4, 1877, soldiers moved to arrest him. He fled toward a neighboring agency, seeking safety among relatives, and was persuaded to return to Fort Robinson on a promise that he'd finally be heard. That promise was a lie. On September 5, 1877, as he was led not to a council but to a jail cell, Crazy Horse resisted. In the chaos that followed, a soldier's bayonet found his side. His reported final words were simple. "He has killed me now." He died that night, somewhere between 35 and 37 years old. To this day, the exact location of his grave has never been confirmed. Decades later, in 1948, work began on a mountain in the Black Hills to carve his likeness at a scale larger than any monument in the Western Hemisphere. It's still unfinished today, a fitting tribute to a man who spent his entire life refusing to be captured or contained by anyone. This is the hidden history behind a name most people only know from a stamp or a mountain carving. The untold true story of a man who won nearly every fight of his life, except the very last one, the one fought not with weapons, but with trust. If stories like Crazy Horse, Red Cloud, Sitting Bull, and the real, verified history they never taught in school fascinate you, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. If this story surprised you, hit the like button and share it with someone who loves true history. And if you're ready to discover more forgotten heroes, untold true stories, shocking history facts, and what really happened behind the world's biggest historical events, subscribe to History Beyond Time. The next story might completely change the way you see history.